Hello, and welcome to Jammin Jukebox radio show, and I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and it is Friday Eve. I don't know about you, but I am stoked because tomorrow is Friday. It's my last day of the work week, and no, this is not my day job. I wish it were. but like so many of you listening, you know, you have a day job like I do, and you're probably going, yes, tomorrow's Friday, yes, the weekend's coming. And for those of you who may not know, here in North Carolina, in this part of the country, one of the biggest tournaments, basketball tournaments, is kicked off today. In our area, the ACC tournament, the Atlantic Coast Conference tournament, and so it's always a fun tournament because who you think, you know, that dominates during the season is going to win the tournament. It always ends up being a huge upset. So, man, I'm telling you, it's a great weekend for basketball. March Madness has begun. For those of you who partake of the NCAA tournament, I'm right there with you, my friends. So it is Friday Eve. I'm saying it is Friday Eve, and I'm so excited and looking forward to the weekend, and I hope that you are too. Now, tonight, I want to bring to you an artist that we have the pleasure of having on our show, and he's going to be calling in momentarily. He is known as, his real name is Eric-Dawson, but he is known in the hip-hop, rap, and R&B world as Romality. And I hope I said that correctly. But he is awesome. He's brand new up-and-coming artist. He's really got some music out that's pretty dope, and it's starting to get some airplay now, and we're actually going to be playing one of his songs this evening for you. But he's a great artist, and he's got a lot of promise, and one of the best young R&B artists. I mean, he is really like young, like he might be almost 16, but he's really got a great talent, and I think he's going to have a great future ahead of him. So I believe he's calling in now. Let's just see.
How's it going?
Hello.
It's your boy Romality.
Hi, is this Romality? Hello.
How's it going?
It's going great. This is DJ Delta Dawn. Thank you, and welcome to our show. We are live, and I want to, thank you because I know you've been incredibly busy of late, so to take time out to give us a little bit of your time is most appreciated. How are you this evening?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm looking forward to Friday. Are you a basketball fan?
Yes, I am.
So am I. Without putting you on the spot, who do you pull for? Do you like college basketball?
I will. College and NBA.
Do you have favorite teams that you pull for?
Syracuse for college and Chicago Bulls for NBA.
You know, I'm right there with you on the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan, MJ, man.
Yes.
You, that's where it's at. Now, in case you hadn't noticed, my accent, in case it didn't give it away, I'm North Carolina. From North Carolina. And but I was telling the listeners before you called in that this weekend is the ACC tournament, which I'm sure if you follow college basketball, you know what that is. That's the Atlantic Coast Conference. And
yep.
So we're playing our tournament. You know, March Madness is around the corner, and Sunday night's going to tell the tale, I do believe. But yeah, so my team is Carolina, and, you know, you talk about MJ. Now, he's a Carolina grad. And he was a Carolina Tar Heel before he was ever a Chicago Bull.
Yes,
so that's where it all started. But anyway, enough talk about basketball. I want to talk to you about your music. And I'm going to tell you that when your management sent me your music, I was just like, are you kidding me? Because you're not that old. I mean, and I was so impressed by your sound and your talent, and I thought, you know, this guy, he's going places. I expect that Romality is going to be a name that we're going to all know in the very near future. I believe you're going to have a great career ahead of you. And, you know, I'm no real music critic, but I know good music when I hear it. And I think you've got the right sound, and definitely you're hitting it at the right time. So let's talk about, how did you get started? How did this all happen for you?
You know, it's a weird deal how everything actually started. I first started out dancing when I was younger, you know, listening to Michael Jackson, you know, rest in peace, to Michael, dancing into Usher, and me starting to get older and whatnot. 6th grade, did the talent show. Everybody was like, yo, you really could sing. You definitely hear a whole lot of different stuff with you. And I was like, I didn't take it into consideration. I was like, yeah, whatever. You guys are just talking. So then, I just started writing. Let me try this out. Let me see how it goes. I liked it. I started writing. I started off with a little, Walmart microphone. Everybody has to start off with a little.
Gotta start somewhere.
Got to start with a little cheap mic. So I started off with that. I was like, you know what? I like doing this. I like doing it. Let me continue it. Started continuing. Went from a $10 mic to a $100 mic to now I got my whole studio by myself. And it's mine. And nobody can't tell me like, oh, listen, you have to do this or you have to pay for this. No, it's my own studio. I mix down my stuff and I do all that.
I'm telling you, and what are you? You're not, more than about, 18, 19?
18.
18. See, I mean, and to me, for you to have, this is more than just having an inspiration of, wanting to do this or wanting to give this a try. I mean, you have got a gift because to be so young and to have not been out there in the music industry, working with all these people and to just have it figured out, that just doesn't come, on its own unless you've got a gift. And I must tell you now, my favorite song that I've heard that I'm just hooked on is Lock You Down. I like that song. I like the beat, the groove. I mean, man, it's off the chain. And I don't know, to be so young, and when I say young, I mean, like, you're young enough to be my son. And I have a son who will soon be 18, so I'm telling my age. But seriously, I mean, I was digging it. And so how do you, I mean, really, where do you get the inspiration behind the songs? Because you're not old enough to really live life yet. I mean, your life is really just getting started. So where do you get it from?
People, they be like, oh, you're so young. You, like you said, you're so young. You haven't really lived life to the fullest yet and whatnot. Well, my mentality is not like most my age. I've been through some stuff in my lifetime to understand some of the things that's been going on with the society and everything. I've seen certain things that I shouldn't have at a young age, and I grew up too quick. I grew up real fast. So when people be like, oh, well, how do you know this? How do you know that? You're only 18. They look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, because, I've been through so much. So, my mentality is not even I can't say old man, but, a wise person.
The best way to put that is you are well beyond your years in wisdom. I mean, and obviously, just listen to you in the few minutes we've been on air, I can tell you do not think or talk like a typical 18-year-old. And that's a compliment, my friend. That is a compliment.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But, it is amazing how life experiences, especially when you're young, and if, be it positive or negative, they can really have an impact and and can really, in some respects, make you grow up a lot quicker than you anticipated, or planned on. And but in some ways, that could be a really good thing because, for you to have the maturity that you have, you're able to take your music seriously to the point that you're serious enough about it that you want to do something with it, and that really is, that is to your credit, and that's going to serve you very well as you go forward in this industry.
Definitely.
So now, you've got some music out, and, what are you doing? Are you performing anywhere right now? Are you making great plans to, tour places, or what are you doing right now to kind of get it going?
I'm definitely looking for places to, perform at. I'm looking for different places all over. I'm currently actually relocating to Florida soon. I'm going to Florida at the end of the month. So I'm definitely, I see a lot of more opportunities out there. When I took a vacation out there, I was like, you know what, this will be good for me. It's slow pace, but you'll be able to, do more stuff down there. New York it's good in a way. If you meet the right person, you'll definitely, get intact and stuff. But, the city, when you go down to the city, it's so fast. Nobody really cares what you're talking about. Everybody's just trying to get to where they need to be.
Yeah.
So they don't really pay attention to you. I could put, like, my poster up somewhere on the side of, where everybody puts all their stuff, and, maybe a few people will look at it, but other than that, they're going to go right past it because it's so fast-paced. That's what I'm so used to. So when I went down to Florida, I'm like, all right, this is kind of slow. slow, I'm like, okay, but I can deal with it.
Yeah.
So, like, right now, I'm working on a mixtape. It's called Out of This World. So when I finish that, I'll be able to, go down to Florida, drop it. I might even do a little mixtape release party and, go from there. I think it'll be much easier since I'm down there because, I got Miami near me. I'm going to be moving to Orlando, so that's definitely a good Tampa, and I got everything else. If I take over, I can't say it's God willing, I'll take over Florida somehow, but if I do, then that's a plus. Then, everybody's going to be looking at me like, excuse my mouth, oh, shit. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. I gotta get in contact with him. Let me try to get a hold of him. So, I think that's a good thing for me to be doing right now too.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Miami and certain areas in Florida really kind of a good place? Like if you're a hip hop artist, you're R&B, and you're trying to really get off the ground. I've heard, now correct me if I'm wrong, that Miami area and certain places in Florida are the best place to go if you're trying to do that sort of thing.
Yes.
Because it is slower. I mean, you don't have the fast pace of New York, like you say. L.A. is just overrun with artists,
Yeah.
And, of course, Nashville's out because you're not country, so that doesn't work. But, I mean, I've always heard that Florida, if you go down to the Miami area, Orlando area, that a lot of hip hop artists do very well, in getting themselves out there. And I think that's a smart move on your part because when I think about some of the greats, that's kind of where they started off. Look at it now. And,
exactly.
And,
it's all down in the South. It's all down in the South. Trinidad James, I don't know if you heard about him. Trinidad James started rapping, he started rapping like 9 months ago. Okay. And he was in Atlanta, Georgia. He was like, I just, I was doing it for fun. And look what happened. He blew up real quick. Real quick. It's all down in the South. It's that Southern type of beat and everything that it gets to people.
Oh, definitely. But I do agree with you. I mean, I think there's so much, there's a lot that's happening in Florida, but the pace of it helps, really helps artists that are really trying to get themselves out there and to become known because, it's fast in one way for a lot of good reasons, but it's just the right pace for an aspiring artist who's really trying to make themselves known. And I think, that just is another plus in your favor in that, you have the maturity to be able to go down there and deal with it. And plus, it's not, like I said, it's not the highly competitive, dog-eat-dog world of L.A. either, where it's overrun with artists and you're really just going out there and you're trying to find your place in L.A. There, you're kind of among, a commonality of the same kind of artists that are all supporting each other and working together to get each other where you need to go, and that's a smart move on your part. So do you have kind of a timeline for when you want to try to, get your mixtape finished and released and have your party and all that?
I'm thinking about dropping the mixtape sometime maybe in June or July. I really can't give a specific date. It's really on me and how I think that the project comes out, and then when I really want to finish it up completely to make sure it's really up to where it needs to be. But, I'm trying to push it out to June, July. If not, then probably sometime in August because I want to make sure that it's good. It's not half-assed. It's not okay. I want to make, matter of fact, not even good. I want to make sure that it's excellent. So it's excellent for everybody to hear. Everybody's vibing with it, not just, a couple people's feeling it and whatnot. And I want everybody to feel it.
Well, when you said summertime, I'm thinking, clubbing season is the summer, and beach season is the summer. And, I mean, you're all up in the heart of the clubs down there, especially in the Miami area. I mean, hey, did not Will Smith write a song about Miami? I mean, come on. That kind of tells it right there. And seriously, I mean, when you think about the kind of music that you're putting out, it is perfect, in the club. And the timing of your release, if it all pans out the way you want it to, it would be, you're going to be in the right place at the right time, I do believe.
Yeah.
But, and then again, since it's your first mixtape, you want it to be perfect, and you want it to be just right. Because, it's the first one is going to always be the most special to you. I mean, you'll put out others beyond this and then go into EPs and albums and things like that. The mixtape, your first one, is really going to be your selling point. It's going to be what tells people who Romality is. So it's important, So take your time, because I'll tell you now, when you get it done, just get it to management and have them forward it on to me. We will play it on our program and our radio station and give you all the promotion we possibly can on it, so that, you have it from this part of the South anyway. Broadcasting, around the world, and letting people know who you are. Now, beyond that, what are some other plans that you got brewing in terms of your music? Are you planning to work with anyone when you go down there on your mixtape?
I'll probably try to go down there and find, different artists, because I'm always, down to collab with different people, look for, how their craft is, because everybody has a different type of flow and craft. So I definitely will be looking for people down there to collab with, because I don't want to just, I want my whole mixtape to myself, but I don't want to be greedy. I like to share with everybody. I feel that if you're in this music industry game, I feel like if you're trying to do what I'm doing, why don't we do it together? And
that's, I think that is that's a great attitude to have. And really, in the hip hop world, I've noticed, when you listen to mainstream hip hop, you hear all kinds of artists collaborating on each other's projects.
Exactly.
And it's a highly supportive industry, the hip hop industry in particular. They're all in it together, so to speak, and they've joined forces. And even though they're making their individual, albums and projects and doing those type things, it's nothing to see two major headline artists collaborating on a project together,
Exactly.
And it happens all the time. And so, speaking of collaborating, who is somebody that you would love to collaborate with on a project down the road?
Man, it's not even just one. It's a couple people that I would love to collaborate with. I definitely love to collaborate with Trey Songz, A$AP Rocky, Kendrick Lamar, Andre 3000, especially Andre 3000. He, everybody underrates him so much, and I don't know why. He's really nice. People need to stop, But definitely Andre 3000. There's a couple more that I would love to collaborate with, but that's some people that, I would definitely love to collaborate with.
And your style of music, I could see you collaborating with any of those guys. I really could. I mean, and you're so relevant. I mean, it's not like you're just somebody out there that put together a few songs and you're going to go give us a shot. I mean, I think you've got true talent, and I think once you get down there's a lot of artists that are already kind of there that are going to, that are already going to recognize that, and you're going to be well on your way. I'm just like, okay, Romality was on my show once, and look at him now. That's what I'm going to be saying, But seriously, I mean, I think that is just so exciting, and for you to have, kind of a plan mapped out just kind of shows how grounded you are in terms of, your thought process and your seriousness about where you want to take this. I think it's gonna carry you very far. Now, your genre is hip hop / R&B, and
right.
do you and I love that kind of combo. when those two genres kind of come together, it really gives the best of both worlds, in my opinion, in that kind of music. And is there, do you prefer R&B over hip-hop or hip-hop over R&B, or are you're just pretty balanced on both?
I can't really pick, I'm going to stick with hip-hop, I'm going to stick with R&B. It's really hard because, I love doing both because that's just who, it tells who I am. You just can't be like, yeah, he's hip-hop. Nah, I like that I'm both. So if someone, like you said, is it over this or over this? If someone was to ask me that, I could tell them I can't pick. I'm both. That's who I am.
And that makes you versatile because, if you ever decided to change it up, you've got alternatives, I mean,
exactly.
You're not strictly coming out of the gate as just solely a hip-hop artist or solely an R&B. I mean, you've mixed it up to where, every album you put out, you can have the best of both worlds. And listeners will get that as well, and that's the beauty of it. When you go to write, a new track, how do you do it? I mean, is it like you're driving down the road and it just kind of comes to you? Do you sit down and say, okay, today I'm going to write? How does it all happen for you?
It depends on the day sometimes. I'll just sit there, I'll throw a beat on and just listen to it, and I'll go off of what I'm feeling probably on that day. Other than that, I try to give my songs a topic because I don't like just, going random. Because what's the concept of your song? I just put it together and didn't have one. That doesn't really help make anybody understand what you're talking about sometimes. So it all depends. Like, I'll go off maybe of what the instrumental title says, or I'll just, whatever I'm feeling, that's how I'll go with it.
Hey, and and that probably makes for a better track because you're not, you're not sitting there forcing it. It's just happening. It's kind of flowing.
It just comes to me. It comes right to me. I don't want to sit there and force something that it's going to sound crappy. I want to just let it flow out, let it come.
And I think for your craft in particular, the nice thing about what you do is that you like you said, you can kind of throw on a beat and just kind of be listening and kind of get into the beat and determine where you're going to go with it in terms of your words. And so many artists that I talk to, they talk about how they'll jot the words down and then they'll start to write the music, or they'll work with their musicians and their bands and stuff to get the music written. And I've always thought, writing the words would be so much easier than trying to put it to music.
Yeah.
But in your case, I mean, it's kind of like half the battle won when you've got a beat to work from to start with, because all you've got to do is find words that are going to fit that beat, that are going to fit you,
Like, I'll probably sit somewhere, I could sit there and write words. I'll write whatever. And, I'll have to find a beat to it. But it's more better to find, if I have that beat, I know how I'm feeling, what I want to feel, and what emotion I want to put onto the track.
Yeah, and hey, and the way I look at it, whatever your groove is and whatever works for you is gonna be successful because, like I said, you're not forcing it. You're just letting it happen as it happens. And I think that's the best way to write, because you're not trying to sit down and just come up with something for the sake of coming up with it. I mean, I love to write myself, and not music though. I write books and things like that, but I know I can't. If you said to me, okay, I need you to sit down and write a chapter, I couldn't do it. But it's something that happens in my gut. It starts turning, and I get prompted to sit down and write, and it starts building in me, and then it just has to come out on paper. I cannot sit there and force it out. It will never happen.
Yeah, and it's just not okay.
And I think great artists are the ones, like you, that can sit there and they can write something based on being inspired and truly just letting it flow instead of forcing it, and because then what's conveyed to the listener, like me, is a lot more meaningful, and we get it,
Right.
And then the music makes sense. And so who do you find to be some of your biggest musical inspirations? I know you said Michael Jackson earlier, and I think everybody finds him to be inspiring, regardless of whether you're in music or not, you know?
Definitely. The Michael Jackson definitely on top. I got, Usher, Trey Songz, all type of old school artists, Tupac, Biggie, Slick Rick, even though, Slick Rick is a beatboxer, but he still influences me. Sha, Mint Condition, Boyz II Men, even the Temptations. I go back old school. Some of the new school is okay, but I'd rather go old school. All the old school influenced me.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's interesting that you would say that because, well, first of all, I'm impressed that you would say that because you're 18. And to like old school rap, I mean, that was the era I grew up in with old school rap. I mean, you give me Dougie Fresh and, Rappers
Master
Delight
Flash
and
the Furious Five and all them.
Yes, you know who they are. But, I mean, it's funny that you would mention that because when I listened to your music initially, I was thinking, man, this is old school. It's got a little bit of an old school swag to it. And, it's not, it's relevant to now, but it's not, there's some influence there. He's been listening to somebody from my day. and seriously, I mean, but I love that. And I guess that's why I enjoy your music so because it is relevant to today, but for people like me, it really is like bringing the best of yesterday and today together, and they just kind of collide into this great music, and I believe that's what you've got. And I can tell you, from someone who grew up in that generation and loving old school R&B and old school rap, you crank out that kind of music and you will sell tons of records because that music of yesterday is kind of lost today in the midst of traditional, the hip-hop that's out there and the rap that's out there. Yeah. And even R&B that's out there today. But I'm finding more and more artists like yourself that are kind of breaking into the industry, you all have this commonality of wanting to bring that back.
Yes.
And I think it's because you all have figured out that that's kind of lost in the mix of the R&B, hip-hop world that exists today. And it's lost its place, and it desperately needs to be back on the table amongst all the other because it still has a place,
Yeah, it does.
So I applaud you for going down that path. I really do.
Thank you.
I really do indeed. Well, I want to thank you for being with us tonight. And before we wrap, I'm going to play your song, Lock You Down, for the listeners. And but I tell you, I really admire you for what you're doing. I'm excited for your future career. I think you're going to have a huge one. I wish you all the best of success when you head down to Florida and set down roots there and get rolling with your music and your future mixtape. And of course, we want to stay in touch and stay up on all the things that are going to be happening with Romality, excuse me, I'm tongue-tied, in the very near future. And we would love to have you back on the show anytime to catch up and inform the listeners of what's going on in your world.
All right.
Well, thank you so very much for being our special guest tonight. We certainly appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me on your show.
Oh, you're so very welcome. And for those of you listening, if you would like to check out Romality, you can find him on Facebook at The Only Romality. On Twitter, he is The Real Romality. And look him up, check him out, and check out his music. It is dope stuff. I promise you that. Well, thank you so much, Romality. Enjoy your evening and have a great weekend.
You too.
All right. Take care, my friend. What a very, very inspiring young man. He's got a great future ahead and very ahead of his time in terms of his maturity, very well-spoken, and I think that's going to carry him very far and very level-headed on top of that. You don't find that with many 18-year-olds today, so quite impressive, I must say. We wish him all the best. And before we wrap tonight, I want to play his song that has been getting a lot of airplay and is really making some noise among the indie world of R&B hip-hop. And this is Romality and Lock You Down.
Let go. You know who it is. Romality. I don't have a lot of friends, but baby, we could be friends. Our style, baby girl, just blends. Try to tell her she shines like the sun. Come on now, girl, I just begun. When I seen your beautiful face, I felt like my heart got hit with a gun. Damn, I'm so stunned, got me so sprung off the type of things you say. Please don't run away, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. Damn, got me so high on my heels like Michael Jackson when he squeals. You should already know what it is, and I can't believe this is so real. I can't believe you got that crazy sex appeal. You got my heart racing like an automobile. Baby, you got me feeling like this. Baby girl, just give me one good kiss. When I have you, I'ma never let you go. Baby girl, I'ma lock you down. When I have you, I'ma never let you go. Yes, girl, I'ma lock you down. Lock you down, cuff you down, hold you tight. Let me be your shining light. I'm so damn bright. Let's take a plane and go for a flight. This is all I do, baby girl, is right. To show you how I feel about you. I just wanna show people that you're my boo, and you're here to ride with me and my crew. No matter what I do, buy all the shoes that you want. Don't want to pass the hunt. Our future that we gonna have together. We change our attitude for these fake ass people, just like the weather. Guess what? I'm better. You know the name. I ain't even playing games, chill. Y'all not even on my level. Get out my face with that. When I have you, I'ma never let you go. Baby girl, I'ma lock you down. When I have you, I'ma never let you go. Yes, girl, I'ma lock you down. I'ma lock you down.
That was Romality and one of his hot hit singles called Lock You Down. 18 years old, folks. I mean, wow, what a huge talent, and he is going to have a great career. So remember the name, Romality. His real name is Eric-Dawson, if you're interested, but I think Romality is such a cool name, and that's going to carry him far. All right, that is going to wrap our show for this evening. And if you are brand new to our show, we certainly appreciate you tuning in, and we hope that you won't be a stranger. And for all our normal listeners and everyone who tunes in time and time again, thank you so very much for being here with us again tonight. We certainly appreciate it. Now, coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have a young man who is only 12 years old, and he is doing some great things in the music world. He is quite talented. He wrote his first full-length album at the age of 11, and his name is Dalton Sire, and he's working on a lot of different projects right now, and he's also caught the eye of Disney executive producers who have called him a triple threat. I can't talk tonight, because he can sing, he can act, and he can dance. And in Hollywood, that's what they call a triple threat. So we are going to be talking with him. He is 12 years old, and I cannot wait to hear what he has to say. But he's going to be here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, on Saturday night, we will be right back here with our Indie Artist Showcase. So be sure and tune in for that. That starts at 7 p.m. Eastern as well. All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. It is Friday Eve. Remember that. Tomorrow is Friday. The weekend's coming. And we hope that you have a great one. So until then, be good, be safe, and enjoy the rest of your night. Take care, and good night.
Tonight's show has been brought to you by One Taste of Main Street Cake Shop, baked from scratch, custom-made cakes and cupcakes, and you'll be hooked. Every cake is made to order with only the finest and freshest ingredients. This is no ordinary bakery. Cakes are never pre-made. Main Street Cake Shop is in demand, having provided cakes and cupcakes for numerous prestigious events, bridal fairs, and venues. Owned and operated by April Murray, she has garnered many awards for not only her exquisite cake designs, but also for their incredible taste. If you're looking for a cake for any occasion, or cupcakes in a variety of flavors, then Main Street Cake Shop is the place. Visit them on the web at mainstreetcakeshop.com. Thanks for listening to tonight's show. You can connect with Jammin Jukebox Radio Show on Twitter at Jammin Jukebox or on Facebook at Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. Check out our website at thejamminjukebox.com. Also, follow us on Blog Talk, where you will be always up to date on every episode as we add it. Each episode is available for immediate download upon the conclusion of each broadcast, and as always, on iTunes. Thank you for joining us.